Hey, hon, can you move it closer to my desk? There we go. Perfect. Hello, hello. And can you move that light over? Because I can't see the screen with it in the way. Hi, Cam. When you jump in, say hi so I can make sure I see comments. Can you go in the living room and check the microphone to make sure it's working? Hey, hey. So tonight we're going to play with Need Some Space. Hi, Nana Joe. And I played around a little bit with preparing for this live tonight, which I don't always do, but I decided I wanted to do mic is working. Yay! I just bought a new mic to hopefully help with you guys being able to hear a little better, because sometimes people were saying they couldn't hear quite as well. So I got a new mic, so hopefully that's helping. And I selected this girl and this alien and this sentiment for tonight. And then I created a background, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So this is going to be the inside of my card that's going to say happy birthday to you. That also came from this set right here. And this little alien dude, and they're going to be on the inside of the card. But I thought, I don't do the inside very often, but I thought what fun it would be to add him to the inside of the card. So we'll color him last. First we're going to start with this little space girl, and then that needs some space. Our colors, this is the background that I created, and these are the colors I chose. This will be my card base, and then I chose yellow, and I created this background. So hi Sarah, let's talk about this background just a little bit. So we have a stencil called Water Mandala, and I know that doesn't really look water-ish, but I wanted it to look a little bit like, kind of like a little bit fiery outer space kind of thing. So our stencil looks like this. So as you can tell, I didn't use all of this stencil. I just used a part of it. So it lays over top like this. So I cut my paper to the size I wanted it to be. And then what I did was I took my multi-liner and I traced out all the droplets on the outside and the center, and then all these little dots. And then I copic colored it so we could use it like this. So it's actually this stencil, but done just a little bit different. I see people popping in and out. I hope everything is going okay. Those of you who are still here, let me know how this is going. Hi, Cheryl. Cheryl, I got a new mic, so hopefully you can hear me a little better tonight. Oh, how did that happen? Oh, somebody wanted to join me. Awesome. So I thought it was really cool, and it did remind me a little bit of outer space. So I want to color this little astronaut to put on the front of it, and then we'll color this for the inside of the card. So we'll have some space and some alien and lots of fun. So I chose my skin tones is E000, RV95. Oh, hi Joyce. E13, E11, and E00. I wasn't sure if people were popping in and out because there were problems, or if they were just checking me out. So, so I'm going to start with my E000 so I can wet the paper. I'm using the 5 marker blend stand here that we have in the shop. Mine is purple, but we have other colors. So I'm using that to hold my markers, and now I'm going to just put this E000 down as a base coat just to kind of wet the paper and get it ready for my skin tones. It helps blend them out just a little bit better and faster to have this undercoat on here. So I'm definitely going to do that. It looks like I kind of want to put gloves on her, so I'm not going to do her hands, and she has boots, so I'm not going to do her feet. So all we have to do is her little face. Hi, Paula. So this is from our release this month. We had an outer space release. Why do I take both ends off? Because I just did marker maintenance and I filled all my markers, and if I leave this cap on, sometimes it pushes more of the ink to this end and it might blob on my paper. If you ever notice that this end's getting really wet, if you pull the other cap off, it equalizes the pressure and then you don't have all the pressure rushing to one side. So I just generally take them off and make a habit of it. It just kind of helps. Hi, Bambi. So now I'm going to put where I want the shadow to be. Some people say it's a myth as far as, you know, it preventing blobs. But, I mean, I've tested it out, and I haven't had any blobs on my paper since I started taking both ends off. So I really believe it. That's my theory. Hi, Jamie. Hope you're feeling better. Wish you could talk to us. But certainly glad you popped in. This is going to be a super fun card. I think you're going to really like it, Jamie. Okay, E13 is next. So I'm just going to blend out from where I put those shadow colors. I don't want her to be too dark. She is in space, but she could have got her tan before she went into space. You never know. I mean, just because we're in space doesn't mean we don't want to be tan. Yeah, she's still sick, Cheryl. She's still feeling bad, and she just finished her antibiotics. She's going to have to call the doctor again. E11 is next, and it's the second to the last color. So this is where I add some blush to her cheeks, and I like to use R12 because it's pretty subtle, and R20 is just too much for me, so I usually use R11 or R12 depending on the skin tone colors. Yep. I told her she needs to get better before they stick her in the hospital if she don't get better. I'm just going over her eyes. Her eyes are just a dot, so I can't really put a whole lot of, I'm not going to have any eye coloring going on there on this one because she's just a little planner girl. Hi, Nan. Okay, and E00 is my last one, and that's where I'm going to leave a little bit of the highlight, the lightest part on her face. Although, because she has a cover over her face, this little window here, I'm going to go over the whole thing with a light color anyway, so it's fine. You don't like Jello? Hi, Tina Marie. Do you go by Tina or Tina? Trina. Do you go by Trina or Trina Marie? Okay. So now we have some skin done. Again, I'm going to do gloves on her hands. So normally I would do, well, let's do the hair first and then we'll talk about the outfit because it's a space outfit. So I think it needs to have quite a bit of white or grayish white in it. I told her I'm not doing that retreat by myself. I told her that today. I need you better because I can't do that retreat by myself. So I've decided to put, because of the background that we have here with the deep reds and the light reds, and the oranges and stuff that I wanted to do. Let me take a little bit of this light off of me so you can see the different colors. There you go, of the reds. So I want to do a little bit of red in her hair for that specific thing. Oh yeah, that's right. Don't forget Craft Roulette on Friday. I will be on Craft Roulette this Friday. If you don't know what that is, it is like a game show where they spin a wheel and choose the parameters for a card you make. And then whoever is on the show will make a card live with Mary Gun Fun. Craft Roulette is at 6:30 Central Time, so it's earlier on Friday. Than I am right here, right now. So for those that it's really late right now, that would be a better time for you. So I'm going to put a little bit of red in her hair, and I'm going to use these E's. This one is burnt sienna, but it's going to look a little bit on the red side, so I'm going to stick that in her hair just because there's red in the background that I've made, and I want to be able to use that. So I didn't do that background on a live because I've been playing with these backgrounds and I like them so much that I've just been making a whole bunch of them and coloring them, and I figured I needed to use them at some point. So no better time than now. I did clean all my markers and refilled them and got them all together, so they are very juicy right now. So I'm taking both caps off. I usually do anyway, but just to be sure, I have had a few of them get a little bit juicy on the end and have had to emergency open the cap real quick. Because I want to make sure I don't blob. E15 goes back to the brown so that her hair doesn't look too bright red. This one will just tone it down a little bit, kind of like putting a toner when you go to the hairdresser. My hair, I just got my hair done. There was no toner on mine. It is purple. Hi, Wanda. So now we have a little bit of a reddish brown hair, which I really like. And then I was going to talk about her outfit. So generally when I do these outfits, I would choose a gray tone, which I did. I chose, let's make sure I don't get these out of order, T7, 6, 4, and 3. Thank you. But you could choose W's or N's or C's or T's. It doesn't really matter. It's just whatever tone you want it to be. But I chose T tonight. But on some of it, I want to put a little bit of a color. So generally I would do blue, but because of our, hi Judy, because of our background that we chose, I thought maybe like a very pale orange would be kind of neat. Now, it's probably not what space people normally wear, but this is my space people, so I think it's okay. What is Craft Roulette? You learned so much the other night on maintenance of markers. I ordered a scale and it arrived this evening. Yes, I love hearing that, Nan. I do. I love that. That is super great. I'm so happy for you because marker maintenance is so important. Okay, so Craft Roulette. So when they do Craft Roulette, it's all about a game. What is the scale? It's like this. I mean, you can get any one as long as it does grams, but it's just a tiny scale that you can sometimes find in a kitchen. And when it comes on, it needs to measure in grams. You can't, oh, there you go. So there's a little G up in the corner that says grams. And then you weigh your markers. So when you're filling them with the cap off, with both caps off, laying it down, it should be about 9.4. With both caps on, after it's filled, it should be about 14.2, somewhere around there, give or take a gram or two, but as long as you're close. So that's what she's talking about. I did a video on marker maintenance, and that's the scale. Hi, Shari. So back to the craft roulette. So what they do is, two people are on there. Mary Gun Fun is on there. Hi, Sandy. And she actually runs it. And then a guest will come on, and that her and the guest will create a project based on the wheel that they spin with the 4 parameters. So the parameters are a project of some sort, a colors, element, and random. So it could be anything, could be whatever's on the wheel. So this last week it was mini drop down for the project, which was a bit challenging for me because I was like, a mini drop down? I don't know what that is. But they explain everything after they pick all the elements and stuff, then they explain it, and it makes it way easier. Colors, this one was inspired by pattern paper. The element was a bouquet, and the random was 3 layers. So here's what I did. This will help a little bit. Okay, so those little words in there, see those little words, they move around. They're dropped down from the frame, or you could say the shaker drops as well. So that actually has 2 different drops. And then inspired by pattern paper was, I just pulled out a piece of pattern paper that I like. So I pulled out this, and then you choose what inspires you from that paper. So I chose the colors to match, and then the little flowers, so it looks like it goes with that. And then the bouquet is what the girl has, and the 3 layers are the base, the foam, and then the papers on top. And they're actually layered in 3 as well. So I had 3 layers and 2 drop downs, but you only need 1. And you can do your card however you want, but I happen to do this one. So that's how it works. They give you the parameters, and then you create something.
And it's on YouTube.
And it's on YouTube. Thank you. I'm glad you liked the card. It's on YouTube. It's called Craft Roulette. And then once you create your card, you go to craftroulette.live and you upload it, and you don't have to have professional pictures or anything. Just take a snap of your card that you made, say your parameters, and then submit it, and you can be in a drawing. And we are actually we're the sponsors this month. So this week, and they'll be drawing for someone to win $25 gift card from our shop. So if you participate, you can also have the potential to win. So that's that. Hopefully that helped answer any of your questions. If not, reach out to me and we'll go from there. But hi, Aladalis. How are you? I know I didn't say your name right. I'm so sorry. I was trying. Okay, good night, Jamie. I'm going to make this back part of her backpack and what's connected to her helmet a little bit darker. So I added T9. I also added T2 to my group. So I now have 6 colors in my combination because I want to have darker and then lighter. So that's, anyway. Oh, thank you. What? Yay! I got it right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is the underside of this is going to have more shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting in just some really small areas along the bottom of the tube, because that would be where more of the shadow is in my world anyway. Hello, Michelle. Oh, I'm so sorry you're struggling with COVID cough. I mean, I had COVID. I was in bed for 9 days. It was horrible. I'm so sorry. That is tough to get past. It lingers for so long. So this is going to give. No, Jamie is still sick too, and she just finished her meds, so she's calling the doctor again in the morning. She's still feeling really bad and coughing her head off, so we'll know more tomorrow on Jamie. That's why you haven't seen a whole lot of her around, because she can't talk. In my world, you like that, Cam? In my world, that's how it would be. As long as you, Jamie says, as long as you have a good story, you can do whatever you want. So there you go, in my world. Yeah, poor girl, she's still sick. Hi, Rinska. Okay, so T7 is going to be next. And I'm just going to keep working on this backpack first. And then I'll decide as I go what colors I want to put around. I'll probably only do maybe 4 colors on these little tubes. This little tube, but I do want it to be darker than the rest of her so it stands out. It's almost like a little bit of, what do they call that? Monochromatic, I think, or something like that. I never say that word right, but coloring with the same color in different tones and stuff. So if you don't know what monochromatic is, that's what it is. How does that song go? 100 bad stories makes you interesting in parties. That's right. That's right. Okay, so T6 is next, and depending on how dark this is, I might do one more color. Yeah, I think I need one more lighter color, but we're going to use this as the true color, so I'm going to do just kind of around the other side as well, because we do want this tube to look rounded, so we don't want to put the shine on the edge. It's better to not do that, so you can show roundness to your project. I am I am solid coloring in some of the areas that I want all the shadow to be, just to keep it dark. Hi, Karen. Hey, Mom. We are coloring tonight, and look at you guys popping in and out. I love it. T4, this is going to be the last one that I'm going to use on this little tube area. So I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of a back and forth to keep, I want to keep that area lighter, but I want to get it colored in as well. There we go. This is going to be our cute little space girl. We're taking our time because we want her to look really good. I don't know why. I like all my cards to look really good, but we're going to take our time with her. I've had a few people get this stamp set that have asked to see it colored. When is the next show in Illinois? That's a good question. So we have a retreat in April. If you're interested in that at all, and then the pinners immediately following. So I can give you the exact dates are April. What did I say? April? Wow, my months are already starting to run together. So Marker Madness Retreat is April 13, 14, 15. Then pinners 20th, 21st, 22nd, and then we'll be in Chantilly, Virginia, 27, 28, 29. So, pretty busy time coming up in April.
So we're going to be in Schaumburg.
When are we going to be in Schaumburg? Is that what she asked? Oh, Illinois. Gosh, I was thinking Idaho. Okay, hold on. Schaumburg. Where is Schaumburg? And we are going to be there. This is August. Schaumburg is August 17, 18, 19. August 17, 18, 19. Then New Jersey, Edison the next weekend. So super busy that month as well. Super busy all months, actually. Should go to Pinners in San Diego. Why is that? Because it's close to you and you want to see us? Okay, so T9 was for the backpack, but I don't want to use T9 anymore. But I want to do this little thing in the front, dark but not as dark. So I'm moving my colors up and I'm going to add my T2. Hi, Tony. And then T7. We only do one Pinners show, though. And we do that in Idaho because Idaho doesn't have a scrapbook show. And we have a lot of friends in Idaho. It wasn't started by that time. Woohoo! Yeah! I'm glad to hear that. We'd love to see you. Okay, so I'm going to do this little, like, control panel that's on the front of her space suit. And then I kind of want her to have the dark space boots. So I'm going to start with this as well. No, you probably... Well, the good thing about April, Cheryl, the good thing about us being in April is that I can do the lives from Jamie's house. Because I'll be there the whole time. Like, I'll leave on the 12th. I don't come home till the 30th. But I could do the during the week lives because I'll be at Jamie's house. And we're going to try to be prepared for everything else. So we should be able to handle that. What's a pinner show? That's a good question. So we went last year. And basically, anything that you would pin on Pinterest. You're doing the happy dance now. Yay! So anything you see on Pinterest and it's loaded with do-it-yourself techniques, make and takes, projects. We don't have as many shoppers, so to speak, at a Pinners. We have more people wanting to learn like how to do stuff. We get a lot of people that say, what's a die cutting machine? Do you take your markers or use Jamie's when you stay there? Okay, so generally I use Jamie's markers. However, because I will be up there for the retreat, we both need our markers at the retreat. So I will be bringing them this time. Oh, you have to wait till October or November to see us. That's sad moments, but at least you can see the lives. We can still communicate. Okay, so I'm on T4. But I'm going to do one more color, I think, besides this one. One more for highlights. We're going to use T3. Yeah, so I cleaned and prepped all my markers, and I'm literally going to take the entire case and put it inside my carry-on and take it with me. So I'll only have half a suitcase for clothes. It's a good thing I have half a wardrobe at Jamie's house already. We kind of have partial wardrobes at both people's houses, so we don't have to carry them back and forth. So we can pack. We are some serious. We can seriously pack light. Let me just tell you that. And we can wear each other's clothes. So chat works, video doesn't. What does that mean? Oh. No, I think everyone else is able to see it, the video. That's a bummer. I'm sorry. Yep, we are live. Okay, so now we have the dark gray parts on here that I wanted to do. And what I'm going to do is switch over now with, I'm going to use a different color blend stand. And I'm going to pick out the colors. So I chose YR65 and 61, and then I'm also going to choose T0 And Mary Nass, if you go out, like clear the cache from your phone and then come back in.
Yeah, she still has trouble.
Okay, Harlan, have a safe flight. Huh?
You let her know that you do post this to YouTube.
And I also post these to YouTube after, so if you miss and you can't see it, then you can always catch it on YouTube. YR65, and I'm going to do the accent just like the gloves and the knee pads and this little bubble over here, and if you know, a few little things I want to do in an accent color. So yeah, don't miss your flight, Harlan. So I'm gonna put just a little bit of this orange. I don't want it to be really obnoxiously orange. I just want a little bit of orange in there so it pulls when we put it on the background. So I'm just putting some dark shadowy orange in there, and it's very small spaces, so I'm doing a bunch of them at one time because I feel like we can handle that. And I think that's all I want to do in that color, although I'm not really sure about all this back here. What am I going to do with that? I think I'll just make that the gray color. Yes, did the normal shutdown at all and fixing corrupt. Don't know why it's constantly spinning. Oh, I don't either, but it's so frustrating. I know. I really appreciate you trying to watch. It's so frustrating. YR61 is next. So I'm going to fill in just a little more, but notice when I use the last color, it's a tea color, so it's a gray. And it's going to be to blend and also to tone down a little bit of that bright orange that we got going on. So that's my plan anyway. I have not done that before, so we'll see what if the tea works really good with the orange. I think it will. I have confidence, so we'll see. So because it's a different tone, I'm going to go from the white area into the orange area. I like it. It kind of tones it down, but also gives a little bit of, leaves a little bit of the orange. I wanted it to be kind of an orangey, but not real bright. I think it'll stand out a lot when it's on the card because there's orange on the card. I am going to put a red and green dots on her little devices like a stop and start button because I like it. Yeah, it's frustrating. I know we lost Michelle watching the other night because of that. Okay. Let's go back to our tees now so we can do the rest of our outfit. But I don't want to start this dark. So I'm going to move these up. So we're going to have T6, 4, 3, 2. I probably won't even use all of these. And our colorless blender. I also need to use my 3 new sets. Yes, but this set is so cute. They're all just really cute. I like this release. I'm going to use T6. I like all our little aliens and stuff too. We'll be doing some aliens later this week and also the other astronaut probably. I don't know. I might switch it out. I haven't decided. But I'm going to go ahead and put this one in just the small shadow areas. I'm not going to use a whole lot of this. But I am going to use a little bit of it up in here because I want this to look kind of like it's her, like it's all her helmet and her part of her outfit that comes up here, up close to her neck. So that's my plan. And I'm sticking to it. I am. Oh, I missed a little, I missed a little elbow. Can't wait to watercolor the turtle stamp. Oh man, I can't wait to see it. I love the turtles. I want us to bring them back. We haven't reordered them yet, but oh, I love them. I want to bring back the snails too.
Michelle has a question.
Can I ask a question from the other night's video? Of course you can. Yeah, of course. Yes, you can always ask me questions. I'm going to put just a little bit of a mark right here. We'll probably wash that out a bit. I'm just giving her a little bit of the backside darkened, because our body's around, and that's not the side that will get most of the light.
Does the refill station stand on top of the scale or pop onto it?
That's a really good question. I actually got that question a couple of times after the video. So here's how you can do it. When I was doing it, I did not put the refill station on top of the scale. So there's, those of you who don't know, there's two pieces to the refill station. And I'll show you what they look like. So there's this piece that holds the refill bottles and the lids while you're filling. And then there's this one that actually holds the marker, so you can refill it. Okay? If you want, you would have to put it, if you want to use it on the scale, so you can see as you're filling it what the weight is, you would have to put this on the scale before you turn the scale on. Good night, Renska. And then it'll measure 0 with that on there, so it doesn't get added into the weight of the marker because you have it on the stand already. So mine says 9.3. And so it's almost perfect. So you can do it. I don't do it. I haven't done it like that because typically I don't think to do that because I've been doing this for so long and I haven't done it on the scale. So I don't typically do that in the video, but somebody brought it up and it's a great idea. The only thing I would say is, one, make sure you put it on the scale before you turn the scale on so it doesn't account for the weight of this. And the second thing is, as you're filling, even though you're on the scale, give it a little bit of time for it to really soak into the core and give you the appropriate weight. If you're dripping too fast, like if you're pouring too fast, it might not show all the weight until, oops, a little bit too far and now you've overflowed the marker. So just be careful. But you know, that can happen either way. So that's T6 and I'm done with that. I took it off, the caps off to show you that, but I don't need it anymore. So back to T4. I hope that helped answer your question, but yes, you can definitely do that. It might make it easier. I have not tried it, so I can't speak to it as far as do I like it better or not. I don't know because I haven't tried it yet. I was already almost done with all my markers when I did the video, so but we can definitely try it the next time I do a video for marker maintenance. But I'm super happy with how many people have said they're working on their marker maintenance. That makes me really happy because it's oh so important. So important. It saves the life of your markers, and I'm living proof. Most of these markers, it wasn't until this past year that I really had to start replacing some of my markers, and I've had them almost 15 years. Or maybe even a little more than 15 years. But I do marker maintenance on them regularly, so they get a lot of TLC. The more you take care of them, the longer they last. And the only reason I've had to replace any is because of cracked caps. After time, I guess they just wore out, the popping on and off, but they have lasted me a long time, and I don't mind replacing one every now and then if it's not all the time, and if they're 15 years old. I think I had to replace 5 this last time. I found 5. How often you're going to buy a scale tonight? Good. How often do I do marker maintenance? I do some maintenance as I'm going along. Like if I color and something's super super dirty, I'll go ahead and clean it right then and there, or I will clean it after I'm done coloring for the night. But going through the entire box of markers to see what's dirty, what needs refilled, that kind of stuff, I do that about quarterly. Once you get on a regular plan like that, it doesn't take as long. The very first time I did it, it took me 3 days to like weighing and measuring and taking care of the markers and doing all the cleaning. And so the more you do it, the better it could. Some caps, they should sell caps by themselves. So I'm going to tell you what I did. So if you have a marker with a cracked cap, I think I saved it. I just thought I saved it in here, but I guess, oh yeah, I did. Okay, so if you have a marker and this cap is cracked, so here's mine. This is what I do. So this marker, this cap is cracked. So I put washi tape around it. So when the new one comes in, I know which cap is cracked. This one is not. So when the new marker comes in and I throw this away, I will keep this cap because there's nothing wrong with this cap. But you might ask, well, it has the number on it. Well, you can take that off. See, they pop off. You just need to stick like some tweezers or something up underneath there, and you can pop this cap off and then keep it. So I keep these in case I need them in the future for a cracked cap without having to replace the marker. Now, some of mine, they still look good. Like the marker is still wet. It still has a little bit of juice in it. It's not completely dried out yet, but it does have a cracked cap, so it will dry out soon. So I could save this one if I had another cap. This one, no hope for this one. This is dry as a bone. Completely and totally dry. There's no ink in this baby at all. So this one is a goner. There's no hope in saving this one. This is a potential. If I'd have had these caps, I would have known to put the cap on, to try it. They don't all fit on each other, but this one would have worked, see? And I could have saved this one by pulling that off and putting it on here. Does that make sense? So that might be a helpful tip. I just started doing this. I haven't done it in the past because honestly I hadn't had any cracked caps. So I didn't really think I needed it, but I decided to start saving that one cap when I throw that marker away. So I'll have it in the future. And plus, so if any of my friends or anyone else comes up with a cracked cap and needs help, I can help them as well. So I think we're on T3 now. Hi, Deborah. But no, Copics does not sell caps by themselves, but it would be great if they did. But that's an alternative that you can do that might save you a bit of money. So hopefully that'll help you. Now this girl's little outfit's going to be a little bit darker than a like white. It's more of a gray. But since we went orange, I was like, well, if we got orange on there, I can make this whatever I want. Because, she's in my world now. She's in my space world. So I'm just extending out from where I put those last colors. I'm sort of accentuating that fold there because it looks like she's leaning over a bit. And so that's why I put that fold in there. Just in case you were wondering. But hopefully that helps a little with the dilemma. But the more you care for your markers, the happier they will be. And honestly, I view this as an investment, not just a marker collection. To me, it's an investment, and so I want to make sure I take really good care of my investment, because markers aren't cheap, that's for sure. I tried to guess on what I thought I might need when Michael's was having, or when Hobby Lobby was having their big sale on Copics, but I didn't guess very well because I didn't guess any of these ones that I have to replace. So we have one more color to go, and it's actually the colorless blender, but we're going to use it as our lightest color to kind of keep some of the highlights going. So I'm going to leave just very light, small areas of white, not a whole lot, because the colorless blender is going to push that color really well all over the place, and I don't want this to be a big splotchy mess. So I'm just going to leave very light areas, non-blended light areas. You do every time you doing your coloring, it saves you time and not so hard on your hand. That is true. It can make your hand pretty tired if you're doing it a lot. Also, when you're taking your caps off, he has not done his marker maintenance because I did it before I gave them to him.
So I have colored.
He has colored, but he has not done any maintenance yet, and he will have to. So when I put my caps in here, I always, this one goes on this end and this one goes on this end, and I try to put them in the same spot every single time, so the colored markers will always get only one cap dirty at a time, and that's a lot easier to clean than putting them on both ends and having to clean both marker caps. So that's another tip that you can play around with too, is making sure you put the dirty cap on the same end.
Thank you, Michelle. I just posted another project.
Yeah, he's been doing some crafty stuff over the past couple of days. I've been crafty with him, but mine is new release, so you guys can't see it yet, but I know now you're going to say, can we have a sneak peek? Okay, so now we have this cool little space girl, and we have one more step to do. Actually, we have two more steps to do, and then we have a little baby alien to color. So I'm going to grab just a red color and a green color, and I really only need one of each one, so I'm going to choose R46 and YG17. The next release, third Saturday of every month.
Thank you, Cheryl.
So in April. So I'm making the bigger button red. I guess I only chose one color, so I gotta do the whole button. I almost did it 2 colors. And then the other button green. Not that you'll be able to see it a whole lot, but I just like it that way. One red, one green. Okay, so this is our little space girl, but we have one more step to do. I like, whenever I'm doing glass, I always like to add in, you need to go look for it, BG10. I like to put around to show that this is like a window or a mirror or something. And what I'm going to do is run it across her face. I'd be careful with the red. So I'm not going to do it too much over the hair and the face at the same time, because it might pick some up. But I like to put it over because, and it's hard for you to see, but it gives a little bit of that blue tint on her face, which makes it look like it's behind. So I like that. Good night, Cam. Thank you for coming and watching. So this is our cute little girl. We're all done with her. We have a little alien, and he is going to be on the inside of this card. So I think I'm going to do him in red, so he'll match from the front of the card. So I'm going to use R89. I'm going to pull that R46 back out. R89, 46. Oh, I think I want to use R39. Oh, you guys can't even see that. R89, R39, R46. Then I want to use R24. And then I want to stick in my favorite RV42. Just to change it up a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the T real quick so I can do his eyeball. And I'm going to put a little bit of that back here on the back of his eye. And I know that looks pretty dark right now, but I'm going to come in with the colorless blender. And I'm just going to kind of blend that back into itself so that it starts looking like the whites of an eye. Like this. So hopefully you guys can see that. I think it's pretty cool. And then in a little while when it dries, I'll do an eyeball. Okay, so whenever I'm doing a mouth of something, I like to do the inside of it the darkest color. So I'm going to start there just because I don't want to mess up his teeth. So if I go ahead and get that in there, I'll be super happy. I'm going to leave a little bit for the second color, but most of this inside of his mouth is going to be the dark color like his body. I will only use 2 colors inside his mouth. The next one will be R39. And I'm just going to blend this out with the R39. It'll be slightly lighter underneath his teeth, but the rest of it's darker. I like it that way. Hi Harriet, hi Kathy. So I'm going to do it that way. I'll come back for his tongue later. Now we're going to go back to the R89 so I can put some of the shadowy colors in here. And I'm going to put it where like his little arms would be folded and along his body. I'll probably put a little bit under this arm. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit. And then along the bottom here. Along this one. And right there. And that'll get us some of that dark color in there. And then I'm going to switch to R39. This little guy is only going to be 1 color, so he should be a pretty quick color up. So I'm going to extend from that color, but this is significantly dark as well. So I'm not going to put a whole lot of this color. He's going to get a lot more of the other colors. So I'm only going to extend out from where I put the darkest shade on this one. The next color is where I'll start really filling in. I'm also going to go up just a little bit with this darkest color just to give him a little bit of movement. So I want him to kind of look like he is swaying in space. That's just kind of my take on it. And then R46 is going to be like the true color, so that's where I'm going to put a whole lot more in, and R46 is my favorite red, so I have no problems using a ton of it. So this is where I'm going to bring across this area. We'll blend that out in a little bit. I'm going to get him really red. And since this is the true color, I'm going to start going all the way around. So he'll look like he has a little bit of a rounded body. The back leg, he doesn't need much more of any other colors on there because it's hidden. And then this little hand right here. Huh? Hi Tiffany. How are you? I wish I was going to see you at the retreat. It's coming up soon. going to go kind of around his mouth. I want his mouth to stand out a little bit, so I'm going to go around his mouth. He's kind of funny looking right now. They're always funny looking before you get done with them. Okay, R24. This is going to change up the color just a little bit. It's significantly lighter. And I'm only going to leave very small areas of white for that last color because it's what I call the magic color, and it's really going to shift some of these tones in this guy, but that's why I like that color so much, because it does have quite a shift. And it will also, I can blend a little bit more with it as well. So while this looks like it's not blended all that well, it'll be a lot better once I bring in that last color. I'm gonna make sure this little tip gets done. He's so cute. He's so red. But he'll look really good with the black background. So this is my magic color. I love this RV42. I use it with all kinds of different colors because it just pops in a really neat tone. Now, if we don't get this to blend quite as well as what I was hoping for, we'll just use a tip to tip. Now, it looks like we might have to. I think it's just a big jump from the R24. I hadn't tried those two together. So I'm going to take the R24 and I'm just going to lift some color off of the tip of the marker. And then when I blend, it'll blend that R24 and this R42 together, and it'll give us that really, really nice blend that I was looking for. There's a lot more colorless blender in this R42. So I could see the colorless blender marks from moving the ink. So I just went over it one more time where the water droplets were with the R24. It's a personal preference. You can do it however you want, but that's how I generally do it. And then we'll just take one quick sweep to get those watermarks out of there. I want him to look a little smooth and jelly-like. Some might want to leave that texture in there. It's kind of neat, but for this particular situation, I kind of wanted it to be more blended together. Okay, now we have his mouth and his eyeball, his teeth, his tongue, and his eyeball left. So let's use some colors that we used from the other one, all the other stuff we colored. So I'm going to use the R12, if I can find it on my desk here somewhere. What happened to it? Here it is. So I'm going to use R12 for his tongue. It's just a little bit of a pinky peach. And then I'm going to use the T0. I know I have it out here. Gosh, you would think with all my markers right here in front of my face, I'd be able to find them. And I'm just going to put a little bit down on his teeth from the top like this. And then I'll use the colorless blender to kind of wash that out. You want to be careful because you don't want to pull any of that red into your coloring because that could be really bad. Can't get rid of the red. And then I'm going to use the browns inside his eye. Or maybe, yeah, I think the browns. Because, let's use E15 for his little eyeball. So you could do like a very detailed eyeball, but I just want to do a simple eyeball today. So I'm just putting his little eye in there. It looks so funny. And then I always use G00 with my eyes just to kind of switch up the colors. So I just do a circular motion like this. And it just kind of makes that eyeball look more real. And I'll show you up close so you can really see it. See how it changes it up and makes it look a little bit more real? I like it that way. So I only used 2 colors for the eye. I used E15, which we also used on the little girl's hair, and I used G00. I always use G00. Okay, so now we have all of the coloring done. So I am going to zoom out so you guys can see. These are our pieces. I have already cut them out. Unfortunately, I don't have the dies just yet for this girl, so I need to cut her out, but promise, if you just hang in there, it won't take me that long to do it. I'm pretty quick at my fussy cutting, plus I fussy cut a whole bunch of stuff tonight, so kind of got a little practice on there. And she's not too bad to fussy cut. I need to cut this off though, because that's driving me crazy. I don't like it when that's hanging on there. If you cut it off, it makes it a lot easier and faster to fussy cut. I think we need to come in with the white gel pen and do her window, the window that's over the cover that's over her face. But I want to do that after I get her on the card. Sometimes I don't remember to do that until we're the live is over, and then I'm like, oh man, I said I was going to put the white gel pen and I forgot. So I do it after the fact, but I'm going to try really hard to remember. We'll ask Dale to remind me. To use a white gel pen before I get off the live. So there we go. She fits in there just perfectly. And then I didn't, because the sentiment I have on the inside says happy birthday to you, I didn't want to say need some space. So I've decided to just cut out space. Like space. The final frontier. Sort of like that. So I'm just kind of doing the edges of the letters around the shape of the letter, and then the bottom and the top will just be straight. It'll give it a little bit of design, but not too much. And then I want to put space here. Okay, so I need to get my pop dots real quick. Hee hee. I love Tiffany always has those little cherries. So cute. I think for this one, I want to pop up the word space. And I want to leave the girl put on there solid. But let's go ahead and put the papers in first. So this is going to be the inside of my card. And I stamped it wrong the first time. So I stamped it going up and down, and I needed it going side to side. So I had to restamp it. But nobody, once I glue this down, ain't nobody gonna know that's under there unless you guys tell them, because I won't tell them. Then we're gonna put this inside here. It's a little bit hard to see the black on my black desk. Let's move it to the white. I know you probably can't see that very well, but it's the only way for me to get that lined up. Sometimes when I've been crafting all day, my my glasses, they're progressive, and so sometimes I see double once my eyes get tired, because they're trying to look out of both parts of the lenses. And I'm kind of having some of that right now, so I'm gonna put this yellow down first. on the front cover. We got to make sure we got it open in the right way. Oh, and the black again. All right, now I'll be able to see the yellow. This is my espresso. All I'm doing is spreading the glue out, pressing it down, easier than trying to do this. So, look, you can see it through the back too. I did not color on the back. That's from the marker bleeding through from the front. Okay, I think I want it to go this way. And then we're going to mat this one on here. And then I'm going to turn it over and do the same thing, pressing all of that down. Flip it back over, and now we can put our little space girl on there. So I'm just going to glue her down. Oh, I should have put her on a wobble, for crying out loud. Dang it. Too late now, she'll never hold up. But you could put her on a wobble if you do this at home, because this is super cute. I bet this would have been perfect on a wobble. On a sweet spring. I want to get her little hand right in between the little circles, because I think that's neat. It's easier if you flip it over and rub it, then you don't have to worry about the glue or anything. Okay, so now we have this cute little girl on there, and we're going to pop up Need Some Space. I'm going to be able to see it. I think I might need some color in that word. Space. Space, space, space. It's stuck to my nail. My nails are too long. Let me just tell you, I got to get them done very soon because they are way too long. They're driving me crazy. They were really tough on the photography shoot yesterday. Okay. So I usually use my tweezers when I place it down just so I can get it centered. But I think we need a little bit of color on the P and the C. But you guys tell me what you think. Do you think we need it? So cool. I really like it. But I was thinking, because we put a little bit of orange on her outfit, we could put a little bit of orange in maybe the YR61 that we used. Just a little bit out here. That's probably a little bit more than I intended, but I kind of like it. It's sort of a little unclear to me. I think I'll use the colorless blender to mix that out a little bit. But I think it kind of needed a little bit of that orange in there. The colorless blender will make it spread out and it won't look so bright. Needed a little bit more down here. There we go. I like that. I think we need some stars, because why not, right? Why not put some stars out here? And I have red stars. Let's see how red stars look. This is my little honey bowl. It has some bling in it. I have some red stars, which I think will be super cute. Because you know I can't do anything without bling on it. So I'm going to use my Barely Art glue, and I'm just going to put my little glue dot on there and then put my gemstone down. And I'm going to do that on all of them. And then I'm going to press it with my espresso to make sure it really stays where I wanted it. think I'm going to put it up here. I think I want them all up here. Otherwise it looks like she's stepping on a star. And then I take my espresso and I just press them down for a second. Okay. So I got the color, I got this, the bling. I'm done with this. This is what we have. Are you ready? Space. Happy birthday. Wait, this little guy needs to be, this is gonna drive me crazy. I mean, I'm not lying. Okay, this little guy, he's floating in the middle of nowhere, so he needs a little bit of a platform because he can't be like just floating out in oblivion. He needs a little bit of a platform to stand on. So I just used T2, and now I'm going to use T0 to blend that out a little bit more, so it doesn't look so harsh. And it's just going to give them a little bit of a platform to stand on. I don't like them floating out in the middle of nowhere. It drives me crazy. Crazy, crazy. So now he has a little, now he's not floating out there in nowhere. He has a little bit of a platform there. There we go. Check that out. That's super cool. I really like that. I'm super happy with that. I hope you guys like that. I can ask you, those of you, it looks like there's like 4 people still here. So you guys can tell me. I had 2 things planned potentially for tomorrow. I couldn't decide which one to do. So I'm going to lay them down. It's going to be 1 and 2. And you tell me which one you want to do tomorrow. Do you want to color the aliens on this background? That's number 1. Or do you want to do this girl on this background? That's number 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Which one y'all want to do? Then I'll have 3 space cards. I knew you were going to say that, Cheryl. Okay, look, everybody said 1. I almost did that one tonight, but I decided to do this one instead. But I like it. Okay, look, 1 wins. Okay, tomorrow, this is what we're doing tomorrow. And we'll do this. We'll either do this one on Thursday or we'll do it next week because we have to play with the moon stencil because it's super duper fun. We have to play with the moon stuff, you know, because it's pretty epic. So tomorrow we'll do aliens and we'll do the moon. And there's our card for tonight. Yay! And that's it. And this is the card that Dale made in case you guys missed it. That's playing with the moon stencil. That's why I said we have to play with the moon stencil, because you can make the moon or you can make shooting stars or Saturn or whatever you want, and I just think it's super fun. And then the other one, yeah, so that's 2 different stencils, but it'll be so much fun. We have to do it. So this was super fun. Don't forget tomorrow at 9:30 Central I'll be live again, and then don't forget Friday at 6:30 Central Time on Craft Roulette on YouTube. I'll be live. I need you guys there. You make me feel comfortable. Thank you. Have a great evening. Good night.